Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Green Bay Packers and honestly for the entire NFC North. We all know that the Packers, under the leadership of head coach Matt LaFleur and quarterback Jordan Love, have been building something special. But even with a roster that looks pretty solid, there's always that lingering question about the backup quarterback spot. And right now, the whispers are getting louder about the Packers potentially making a move to upgrade behind Jordan Love. Yes, you heard that right. There's talk about them exploring options to bring in a more experienced backup, a guy who could step in if needed, and keep the season afloat without losing too much ground. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, for starters, even though Jordan Love showed flashes of promise last season, the NFL is a league where injuries happen, and depth is everything. The Packers have a few areas on the roster that are pretty well set, but the backup quarterback position has been a point of discussion for a while. Malik Willis, who was acquired from the Tennessee Titans, has been given opportunities, especially last year when Love was sidelined temporarily. He did a decent job, but let's be honest, he wasn't asked to operate the offense at a high level. That's a key point because Willis has shown flashes, but he's still relatively unproven at the NFL level. The team might be contemplating whether he's the guy to rely on in a pinch or if they should look elsewhere. And that's where the latest buzz comes in. According to reports from USA Today Sports, Nate Davis, the Packers are considering some intriguing options, including a former first-round quarterback who could come in as a backup to Jordan Love. The name that's floating around is Kenny Pickett. Now, you might remember Pickett from his rookie season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he showed some promise. And yes, he even won a Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles last year, backing up Jalen Hurts. But since then, his career has been a bit of a roller coaster. He's had some ups and downs, with a career completion percentage of around 62.4% and a touchdown-to-interception ratio of 15-14. Nothing groundbreaking, but the experience is there, and it's enough to consider him as a viable backup, especially in an offense like LaFleur's that emphasizes versatility and strategic play. The interesting part is just Pickett's experience alone, but the context. Pickett was drafted in the first round of the 2022 draft, which means he has a certain pedigree. He's played behind Jalen Hurts, a proven NFL star, and has learned from one of the best in the game right now. That kind of mentorship and experience can be invaluable if Green Bay is looking for someone who can step in and manage the game without making catastrophic mistakes. Plus, in a system that's focused on a balanced attack, run, pass, play action, having a backup who understands the nuances of the offense is crucial. But here's the real question. How much of an upgrade would this really be for the Packers? We all know that Green Bay traded away its next 2 first-round picks to acquire Micah Parsons, one of the most disruptive defensive players in the league. That's a bold move, and it shows that the franchise is all in on competing now. So, investing in a backup quarterback isn't just about having someone to fill in. It's about having a reliable insurance policy that can actually make a difference if called upon. If Jordan Love were to suffer an injury, even a minor one, having someone with more experience and better command of the offense could be the difference between a quick playoff exit and a deeper run. Now, let's talk about Jordan Love himself, because the future of the Packers' quarterback situation depends heavily on his development. Love's progression over his first few seasons in Green Bay has been steady but not spectacular. He's shown flashes of the arm talent that made him a first-round pick, but consistency has been an issue at times. Last season, he threw for over 300 yards, with 20 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Pretty solid numbers, but not quite at the elite level yet. The Packers are hoping that with more experience, he can take that next step and become one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league. That's why having a dependable backup is crucial. It provides stability and peace of mind for the coaching staff and the entire organization. And considering the current NFL landscape, where injuries are almost a given and depth often determines a team's success, the Packers are wisely exploring all options. It's not about making a blockbuster trade for a superstar like Micah Parsons again. Instead, it's about smart, strategic moves, bringing in someone like Kenny Pickett, who has some NFL experience, some familiarity with high-pressure situations, and the potential to step in seamlessly if needed. It's a move that could pay dividends, especially if Love continues to develop but still needs that veteran-like insurance behind him. Of course, the decision isn't just about Pickett or any other quarterback. It also reflects the larger philosophy of the Packers under GM Brian Gutekunst. They've shown a willingness to be aggressive when it counts, to make moves that optimize their chances of competing for a Super Bowl. This season, with a roster that's mostly intact and a coaching staff that emphasizes adaptability and smart football, the backup quarterback position might just be the final piece of the puzzle. Now, let's consider the division for a moment. The NFC North has been evolving rapidly. The Detroit Lions have emerged as serious contenders, Minnesota Vikings are always in the mix, and Chicago is rebuilding. For Green Bay, maintaining a competitive advantage means not just focusing on Jordan Love's growth, but also ensuring that the roster as a whole is deep and versatile. A reliable backup quarterback could be the difference maker in close games, especially against divisional rivals who know each other well and can exploit any weaknesses. And don't forget, the NFL is a league of inches and moments. A single injury, a key turnover, or a clutch play by an experienced backup can turn the tide of a season. That's why the Packers' focus on this backup quarterback spot is so strategic. It's about safeguarding their investment in Love, giving him the best possible environment to succeed, and ensuring that if adversity hits, they're prepared. Looking ahead, fans should keep an eye on how this situation unfolds. Will the Packers actually make a move for Kenny Pickett or another veteran? Will they stick with Willis and develop him further? Or perhaps they have someone else in mind who's flying under the radar? Whatever happens, it's clear that Green Bay is not resting on its laurels. They understand the importance of roster depth and the critical role that backup quarterbacks play in a successful NFL campaign. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Remember, this team is always evolving, always striving for excellence, and your support is what makes this community so special. So, whether you're excited about the possibility of Pickett joining the Packers or you believe Willis can still develop into that reliable backup, your voice counts. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's keep this incredible Packers family growing stronger every day. Thanks for being with us, and I can't wait to bring you more in-depth coverage, insights, and news about our beloved Green Bay Packers.